Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. I have two American blended whiskeys. They're blended at an 80-20 blend ratio, meaning 80% grain neutral spirits, 20% straight peat of some sort. Typically bourbon, but that is not required. It could be straight corn whiskey. And in the case of Texas 254, I think it might be. So 4 parts grain neutral spirits, 1 part straight whiskey. Okay, so here is Bankers Club. Bankers Club, look at that award that it never won. So it's this fancy medal that it never won. A ribbon, isn't it beautiful? Bankers Club, extra fine. You know it's extra fine. Blended whiskey, American blended whiskey. Bottled in Scobeyville, New Jersey by Regent Distilling Products Company. It's got 2 eagles with the American shield. Big, beautiful plastic bottle. I bought this at Total Wine and More. Anywhere else in Louisiana, I'm going to tell you the truth. But that doesn't mean it's not around. I just haven't seen it. Seemed like I would have. But you can buy, I think it's more common up north. You see. It was like $13.99. No, let me take that back. It was like $15.99. Sorry about that. $15.99. And then I bought the brandy, but it was $19.99, I think, the brandy. I'll show you the website real fast. And it doesn't say Regent Distilling. It's Laird Company. They make the famous Applejack brandy. That's their main product. But here's the Bankers Club line. There's Bankers Club bourbon, 80 proof. You know what now? I think I did see it at Savannah Discount, but I didn't buy it because I said to myself, I've got too many bourbons, way too many already. And that's the truth, really. It really is the truth. There's no argument. There's a Bankers Club blend whiskey. You see that? That's the glass bottle. There's the glass liter bottle of the brandy, but I bought the handle. There's the gin. You know what? Those might be 750s. That looks like a liter, that gin, fat bottle. There's the vodka, the blended scotch, the rum, clear. Okay, so these are what you would call priced products. But that doesn't mean that they're bad, because I think the Bankers, and I haven't had the brandy, so I can't comment. So there you go. But they're more famous for this. I'll show you real quick, which I've never had. I can find it in New Orleans, but I've never had it. It's Applejack brandy, 10th anniversary apple brandy. It's probably their expensive one. Bottle and bond. Oh yeah, you won't get that for $19.99. Laird's Anglo Cask Selection, even more expensive. 12-year-old rare, even more. There's Old Apple brandy, Applejack 86, straight apple. There's a ready to drink old fashioned and blended apple. I think the blended Applejack is the most common one. You see that around everywhere. Then the specialty ones, well, maybe won't see it. I don't know. I haven't researched apple brandy, nor have I been interested in it, but I'm definitely not opposed to it. I'm open to buying it. Yes. Okay. There's a lot more than just what I'm showing here. They make an enormous array of products. I would like to go tour that place, and maybe I will one day. They have an order distillery and everything. All right. So that's good. Got to turn off the screen share. All right, so here's the competitor. Well, this is actually the main product. That's the Bankers Club is a competitor. I showed it first because it's an older product. It's 50 years older. This is Texas 254, introduced only 5 years ago in 2019 by a new distillery that opened in 2019. Backwoods Craft Distillery. It's not one of these things where it's a shell and they get all their liquor sent in from like MGP and they just bottle it with their label on it. No, this thing, This outfit was all home distilled. They had their own distillery, made their own products, bottled their own stuff, and sent it out. Now, strangely, however, about 2.5 weeks ago, their website vanished. You click on it, there's nothing there. You don't have, it says you don't have access. It's got a nice paper, like a linen coat, linen. It feels like linen tablecloth. Interesting. It's got this plastic shroud that it was over. The whole thing was plastic covered like foil, but I had to take it off to open it. Nice looking product. I paid $19.99 for this glass bottle. Now they claim it's craft whiskey, but I wouldn't be totally shocked if they went out of business because they might have had so much overhead, so much expense, doing all their own thing. But like I say, you look at the address where they were located, it's like nothing there. Like recent photos and all, it's just like something disappeared. But anyway, whatever the case, if it's gone, it's gone, A lot of little craft breweries and distilleries have been shutting down because they got more payout than income. You know what I mean? It's costing them more to run the place than to make any money. What's the purpose if you're not making money? There is none. All right, you're not doing it for philanthropy. I mean, if you were a billionaire and you did it for a hobby, fine. All right, so can't show you any website, sorry to say. 80-20 win ratio for both. But this one is aged 3 years. Bankers Club, the straight whiskeys are 3 years old. And in Texas, 254 is only 2 years. So the minimum. So minimum aging doesn't say anything about coloring or flavoring added. Not that that's required with blended. It is not. But it does appear unusually light. I mean, that is a very pale. Look at that. We got daylight coming in now from outside, just an inkling of dawn. So that's pale straw. So I would think it probably doesn't have coloring added. But I could be wrong. Okay. Like I say, if you live in New Jersey or Pennsylvania, Bankers Club is probably at every store. In Louisiana, I found this company's products at a handful of liquors. I found, Applejack brandy, Laird's Applejack, pretty common in New Orleans, not in this town. I don't know if we get any of it. I just don't know if there's any demand for Applejack brandy where I'm living, which is west of New Orleans, southeast of Baton Rouge, along the river. Much smaller population. The Texas, I did find also in New Orleans. That was in Metairie, which is a suburb just immediately west of New Orleans. This I found in New Orleans, within the city limits, at Broadway Liquors. One of the few liquor stores that you see in the city, because in Louisiana, grocery stores, convenience stores like gas station, they sell liquor. There's no rule against it. And so people that try to start liquor stores around here usually wind up going out of business. Like they started a liquor store in my town. Seemed very friendly. And I was thinking, why would you do that? And it didn't last but 2 years. Jams bottled up, went belly up. But they're not thinking like, is there a demand for a liquor store in this town? Answer, no. Are there regulations against liquor being sold at any other place? Answer, no. Pharmacy, like really, the drugstore, the convenience store, the grocery store, liquor. So most people that watch this channel tell me I never seen liquor at Walmart. Well, it's at every Walmart in Louisiana, pretty much, that wants to sell it, assuming that location wants to sell it. So we got amber, gold, and pale straw gold. poured a little too much, but you see that these built-in pourers, they have a spout at the top and it pours real fast. It doesn't go chug a lug a lug a lug. It just pours out. But the problem is it takes almost no effort and it's filling up. So that's the risk. That's the problem with those. If it's chug a lug, it doesn't fill up as fast. All right, but anyhow, so two products not common, like I said. But if you live in Texas, maybe around Dallas, Fort Worth, just Waxahachie is southeast of that, or southeast. You might see it around. If you live in New Jersey or Pennsylvania, you're going to almost certainly see Bankers Club. But in New Orleans, I've seen, in Metairie, I've seen the Bankers Club brandy, the Four Queens 101 proof whiskey. I bought a bottle, Four Queens 101, not Wild Turkey 101, Four Queens 101 from New Jersey, or at least bottle there, and it was $11.99 at Martin Fine Wine and Spirits. And then they had the Laird's black Applejack. I said blackjack, Applejack. So yeah, true liquor store is Broadway, but you know, it might not be registered as a liquor store. They might register it as a convenience store because they sell donuts, you know, coffee, canned goods, ramen noodles, like Band-Aids, so aspirin, a few other little, they have a few aisles where they sell that. And then beer, a lot of wine, and a lot of liquor. They got the lotto, you know, if you want to waste money on that. And I think that must be because in Louisiana, if you notice, there's a lot of these convenience stores, but it's really a liquor store. It's really a liquor store masquerading as a convenience store. And it could be a tax thing. You know what I'm saying? If you're a liquor store, you got to pay this much tax. But if you're a convenience store that just happens to sell liquor, well, you only have to pay that much tax. And we got a lot of convenience stores that just happen to sell liquor, which if you visit the store, the liquor makes up, beer, wine, and liquor just by some sheer coincidence, of course, makes up 99% of the products in this convenience store. But anyway, Star is a good example. That's a gas station, Star. But Star is known for liquor and very well known. It's one of the iconic, famous, chase down, run down liquor stores in the New Orleans area. People that are into bourbon, they know Star. Star Kenner South location, Star Kenner North location, Gretna. That is a place where you can lose a lot of money, but gain a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Because when you get in there and see the prices, you just start getting hyperventilated. And the whiskey scout told me, he said, if I lived down here, I'd go broke. He couldn't get over it. He couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. And that's just the taste, a little taste. Didn't even talk about International Market or Discount Depot or Savannah Discount. So it goes on, and it's amazing. Okay. But still in all, you got to put a limit. I can't buy everything, you know. Okay. And even if I could, well, what am I going to do with it? I can't drink it all. So, okay. Smells neutral. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah, a neutral alcohol aroma with some little funkiness like yeast or bread. It's like that. Some baking, if you're in a bakery type of thing, without the sugar, you see, or any kind of salt. Well, let's go with the taste. So on aroma, I don't know. Price, let's think about it for a minute. Yeah, price is close, but still, let's say it'd be $3. Because I think I paid $15.99 for this. So the price has probably gone up to $16. But I could be wrong. But let's say $3 difference. Cheers. Yeah. Corn, charred oak? No. Corn, vanilla, and a little sugar water. Well, that's it. Corn, vanilla, sugar water. Corn, vanilla, sugar water. And the sugar water flavor is probably because of the corn. Now, there is a little spice to it, like pepper, black pepper, like a rye thing. So it could be that they're using a high rye bourbon as their blend, their flavoring whiskey, just like blended scotch. It'd be 80% flavorless, essentially flavorless column still grain whiskey, but the flavor is going to come from the 20% straight. No, they don't use that term over there. Single malt, yeah, that's what they say. Single malt Scotch whiskey. If they're adding Aberfeldy or Lagavulin or one of those single malts. Glenn wrote this, something like that. Or Glenn Glassaw. All right. This is the same, but it doesn't have that so much of that rye spot. But it does have a little, honestly. But now that I'm thinking about it, but it seems more corn-like and lighter. Now they're both 80 proof, so the lightness shouldn't matter. Body shouldn't matter. Now, right now, I have 4 wins and 2 losses. I've done 6 challenges so far. Got 4 wins, 2 losses, and I'd like to bring it to 5 and 5 to 2. 5 wins, 2 losses. Huh. I almost want to say something right there. I'm going to leave that blank. I'm going to come back to this. It almost has like a pickle flavor, dill pickle. You say you're going mad, going crazy. Man's going mad. Yes, that's true. The doctor told me, he said, you're so sane that you're insane. But beyond that, do you know one of the big products they produce at Backwoods Craft Distillery, or did produce, maybe they've gone out of business, like I said earlier, was something, or is something called Texacraft pickle flavored vodka. True story. Pickle flavor vodka, and they put food color in or whatever to make it look more green, or could just be the pickle juice. So could it be that they're not necessarily using different vessels for the different products? I'm not saying that they are, but I do notice this kind of weird dill pickle type of thing going on. Right now, I think I did notice it once before on this challenge series, but I didn't mention it because I was like, don't even say it. To think you're going really crazy now. But I don't know. I would think that would be a bad thing if you're reusing the vessels and you got a pickle flavor pickup on a blended whiskey. That's just a no. And you get these little small craft distilleries, micro distilleries, micro breweries, and a lot of times their quality assurance can be not bad, non-existent. I can't say it's bad. It doesn't exist. It's all haphazard, just like whatever they put out, that's what they put out. And if it's nasty, they'll say, oh, it's a bad batch. A bad batch. Okay. So, but that's just a complaint that a lot of people have about them. All right, it's too much hit or miss, and they would rather just all hit, No, I mean, but anyway, I think this must be the Texacraft, the Texas 254 Backwoods Craft Distillery product. Strange. Okay. And it is. See, now maybe I'm not crazy. 5 wins, 2 losses. All right, so I got to get off the news and start. Invasion says, Uncle Ron, nice hairstyle on this. Is easy on the throat or harsh? Uh, they're pretty easy going. Nothing too, nothing too impressive either way. You know, they just very regular, very basic products for a very basic price. Morning, Ron, says Maxwell in the Russian Federation. Morning to you, Maxwell. All right, so, well, what we have is a winner, and I'm afraid, well, I don't know why I'm afraid. I guess because I live close to Texas, so I want to pick up for them, you know. But I think Bankers Club wins this. It's been around over 50 years. It's established. They probably have a little better QA quality assurance at Laird. Texas 254. Oh, you're in Texas Invasion. I shouldn't be picking up some weirdness like that, you know. All right, well, thanks anyway. We did what we could, and I'll be back hopefully tomorrow with another challenge. Bye-bye.